Hello friends. Welcome to the New Level TT channel where all table tennis secrets are at one place. Generally, table tennis coaching is experiencing the lack of theories. Without theories, it is hard for players to know why they are performing techniques wrongly. If players can understand key ideas and use imagination, later they can predict intentions of pro players during watching of league matches. This leads to self-correction of their game and tactics subconsciously. We are trying to slowly fill that gap. This episode will be focused on the topic of switching, but as usual, we will look at it from different angle than everyone else. Take your ready position, the lesson will start in a few. In professional table tennis, everything is interconnected, but those connections are hard to see due to its speed and complexity. You need to analyze it and break it down very slowly, and then put it back together. Yes, it takes time. It is not easy, but it is very effective. Purpose of this course is to show decomposition of the whole game into core segments that are used across various situations in the game. This approach allows you to focus your training to only one segment at the time, but improving on multiple axes simultaneously. And there is not that many segments. In previous two lessons we were discussing importance of knowledge of trajectories. Based on this we were able to simultaneously build a framework for synchronization of body movement. If you trained these points the way we presented, you probably noticed some changes in your training approach already. Your rallying in isolated forehand and backhand cross drills became more stable, powerful, and consistent. Now you feel the rhythm even when the ball is in the air. You are noticing that your legs started moving naturally without forcing. Now it's time to start building court covering basics. We start with stroke span principle. In two following episodes you will learn other important building blocks, energy focusing, and position adjustment. This lecture consists of the four following parts. 1. Definition of stroke span and what it represents. 2. The A and V covering methods. 3. Training tips for building proper stroke span in short time. And conclusion. For every player, when we are talking about stroke span principle, we are generally referring to the triangle shape. When you draw this for a player, shape of this triangle carries a lot of information. We will use it in the future. It will show flaws in the game very fast. Tip of the triangle is the placement of single shot on the opponent's side. For now, let's talk only about its baseline. Its base is drawn by connecting players' forehand and backhand side habitual hitting points. If you find that you are crossing this baseline with your body or feet during switching or positioning, you better fix it. This usually has following forehand reasons. You hit the ball on forehand side too late. Feet position and body rotation during forehand do not allow you to finish stroke in ready position, case of linear strokes. You stay too close to your forehand corner. You do not keep center of gravity in front of your body before the stroke. Those bad forehand drive habits will stop you from progressing for a long time. You will cause yourself serious footwork problems. Connecting to the backhand is complicated in the later stage of development. Because everyone starts learning table tennis with forehand cross strokes, they will make those mistakes almost immediately without noticing. Major problem is that typical flat forehand cross stroke do not allow player to learn proper energy focusing at the beginner stage. This will be huge topic in the episode 4. Being aware of your stroke span should allow you to play forehand and backhand shots with the almost identical rhythm. Also, position of feet should be relatively similar for both strokes. This will simplify your footwork and your positioning, as you will see in the practice. Try to think about any stroke as continuous line for both forehand and backhand. Do not change your posture much during switching training. Your stroke span should effectively cover 70% of the table without position adjustments. Always expect to play backhand and switch to forehand, not other way around. Now, let's talk about two covering approaches. We called them the A and V. Imagine you are playing cross-court from your backhand corner, Switching to forehand middle, also aiming to the backhand side of opponent. A lot of players learn to return the ball by flat perpendicular hitting, cannot do it without change of rhythm or playing zone. This leads to difficulties also with positioning in this basic drill, because players have different forehand and backhand postures or stroke production habits. Effective timing in this case is enormous. Your stroke can be perpendicular, for a given position, only in one moment. If you miss your timing, accuracy of your shot is plummeting. So players need to constantly adjust, in and out position, due to this factor. Idea of the V approach is based on semi-static position for both strokes, use of energy redirection, cutting of angles based on rhythm of the ball, and adjustment of flat angle in table surface playing. This approach leads to perfect stroke span in many situations. In the next episode, once you understand energy focusing, this will make more sense. Actually, it is very hard to explain one idea without mentioning others, but at the same time it's impossible to explain all at once. Please be patient. This knowledge of stroke span and V approach alone can elevate your 2-point rallying skills enormously. Let's look at few practice tips now. In your training routine, implement switching drill we mentioned. Start your warm-up for this with backhand, then at forehand. Wait with other forehand drills until you master this one. You will be rewarded. Especially if you do not have any coach to correct your technique. You need to develop sense for your stroke span in the first place. Once you do this, thanks to adjustment of energy focus, you will be able to play forehand cross shots almost immediately. After episode 4, slowly learn how to apply it in V approach and always use 2 key actions from episode 2 for smooth connection of strokes. Other concept videos will also reveal some important details in techniques that can make huge difference. Try to finish all strokes in the same ready position, facing the line of play with your stroke span. In the next episode we will explain suboptimal and also better ways each stroke can be played. Application of energy focusing will completely change your view at stroke execution. To summarize, in this episode we covered concept of stroke span and mainly its baseline. Keeping this line perpendicular to line of play will help you by only minor need for adjustment of the feet. Later it will play major role in positioning lesson. We explained 2 covering approaches. We discovered that optimal stroke span is obtained by using V approach. It means that we are trying to play strokes by cutting angles according to expected rhythm. Mean for it will be energy focusing, that is topic for our next episode. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to make sure you don't miss any new coaching content. Also, give a like to the video if you want to learn about similar topics in the future. Remember, let's get better together. Thank you for watching and see you next time.